Okay guys, so today we're going to do a very quick run through of Brand24. So let's dive straight into their dashboard. So I've been trying Brand24 for the last couple of weeks on their free trial and it's been really good so far. I would say I definitely recommend it and I'm going to tell you why right now. So whenever you first open up Brand24, this is what you're going to see. This is their dashboard. For context, I'm using my brand Trek and I as a tester. So my hashtag Trek and I is what I'm using for this. So let's just dive into what you can see as soon as you dive into Brand24. Right at the top, you've got this graph which shows you your mentions and your reach. So mentions in the blue, reach in the green, and you can split that over days, weeks, and if you're using it for longer than I'm using it, months as well. So this shows you, if you hover over it, you can see exactly how many mentions your brand got and what the reach of those mentions were. So if your brand was mentioned in an Instagram post, for instance, or on Twitter or on Facebook, that will show you up here exactly what the reach was for that, how many times it was mentioned on that day or over the course of the week. Sentiment is handy as well because you can see whether or not people were talking positively or negatively in a post in which your brand's hashtag was used. It doesn't mean they were necessarily talking in a negative way about your brand. They might just have used a negative word in the post. So for instance, this one down here, wherever it's gone, I think, well, there was one on here anyway that used the word don't. And in fact, if I hit negative over here, then it'll show it. So yeah, there you go. So there's the word suck. So that thing sucks, and they're the ones that use the word don't and things like that as well. So um, if there's a negative word, it will show up as a negative mention. But again, it doesn't mean that your brand has been mentioned in a negative way. But it gives you a good idea. If you have done something that is negative, people don't like it, it will show up in red and you'll see a big spike, and that will give you a pretty clear indication to not do that thing again, or it's something you need to rectify straight away. So that's pretty handy straight off the bat. You can narrow down on the right which platform you want to look at specifically. So I've only added 3: Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for this so far, but you can add as many as you like, which is great. And then you can break it down by those individual platforms and see the posts from those on their own. And again, you can break it down by which days you want to look at, whether it's just over the last couple of days or over the last few months or even the last year, which gives you a pretty comprehensive understanding of how your brand has been talked about on social media. And you can also break it down by all mentions or important mentions. And it says here the importance filter shows key mentions based on source popularity, influence, sentiment, strength, or their engagement. So if a post does particularly well on a platform, you can narrow it down with the important mentions filter, and then those are maybe really good posts for you to engage with as well, in order to create a bit of conversation around your brand. But I think being able to narrow down by sources is really handy because it'll help you determine which of the platforms that you're on, that you have a presence on, is the one that's most effective for your brand, and then it means you can spend more time and double down on that platform, which is great. So if you jump over to the left bar and you click summary, this will give you again a really comprehensive overview of what is happening with your hashtag or with your brand on social media. So you can see numbers up at the top here if you like numbers, and graphs, and this splits the mentions and the reach graph as well if you want to see those separately, and you can see different stats down here as well. So this is kind of a general overview of what's happening with your brand, and that's really handy too, and you can go in depth into what's happening with your brand on social media. If you click analysis, this will show you a bit more in depth in terms of the numbers, exactly what's happening with your brand. So you can break that down by days, weeks, months, and basically narrow down numbers wise exactly what's happening with your hashtag and with your brand on social media, which is great. So that is really useful, especially if you're a numbers person. I'm not necessarily a numbers person whenever it's on a screen like that, but if you do like numbers and you resonate well with that, then that is something you'll enjoy. And again, you can narrow that down by most popular posts or just all posts in general. Sources, again, this takes you to the different sources that you use, which are on the main dashboard. I've only added 3, as you can see, and it's not very comprehensive so far because I've only added 3. and I've only been using it for a couple of weeks. But if you had all of your social media platforms and that, I imagine that will be a really useful page on this platform. And you can see exactly what's happening with each one. And again, really quickly and easily, you can see which of those platforms is getting the most traffic in terms of your brand as well. And then that means you can focus more on that platform than the other ones. Influencers, I'm not exactly sure why it's chosen these, but obviously the first one is me, is Trek, and I'm not sure why it's chosen the other ones, but that would be determined by which brands or which platforms or which accounts have the biggest reach and the most followers, and maybe those are ones you want to collaborate with or engage with more because you're going to get more reach through that. So that is a pretty cool tool actually, which I haven't explored enough of just yet. But I think if you want to engage with influencers, that tab is really handy. I'm not going to go into comparison because you need to have more than one brand lined up on this. I'm only using one so far, but again, it will give you a nice snapshot of how one of your brands is comparing alongside another one, and maybe what you can do to level up the other brand that's fallen behind. So that's a useful tool as well. Um, I like the reports function as well, so you can break things down by PDFs, Excel, reports, emails, and I like infographics. So this is a really cool way of breaking down in a nice visual way exactly what's happening with your brand online. I like visuals. I like when things are all laid out like this in different colors. I resonate with that a lot quicker than I would with just solid numbers or solid graphs. So if you're a graphic visual person like me, I think you'll like this. Brand24's customer support is also really good. I found that in the brief time I've been using it, and they really do keep in touch with you. Um, they also have a little video embedded into their program here, so that'll take you to their YouTube presence, and you can watch videos and get a bit more guidance on how to use the platform. And they also do webinars, as you can see. There's another one coming up soon, and you can sign up for that directly through the app if you want to just find out more about how to use it. So again, that level of support is great. Customer service, customer support is something I find really important. I think maybe you probably do as well. And if you like a platform and a brand that has good customer service, Brand24 is definitely it. So that's about it. Again, we'll go back to the main page here. I would say overall, yes, I definitely would recommend Brand24, and I've got a link to it down below in the description, so definitely check that out and try their free trial for a couple of weeks and see how you get on. But yeah, it's definitely it's a cool platform. It gets all of your socials grouped together in one place. You can see how they're performing. It doesn't deal with the management of your socials, but it gives you a really good idea into which one is doing better than another and where you can improve and where you can engage, and you can go directly into people's posts from the dashboard, and then you can engage directly, or you can track which influencers you want to work with. So yeah, sign up for the free trial and give it a go. If you find it's something you want to use going forward, the prices are very reasonable. And yeah, I would say for me, Brand24 is really good, and you should definitely give it a try. It's the first time I've done one of these kind of videos, so if you want to leave some comments, tell me what you think. Other apps you want me to try. How have you found tracking your social media presence's performance online? What do you use for it? Have you found it difficult? What have you found challenging? Tell me about that in the comments below. And yeah, check out this video next. It'll give you some more insights into how to market your business online. And it's been great to hang out with you today as always. Thank you so much. I'll see you again really soon.